Hi guys, and welcome to Miracles in Real Life. My name is Christy, and we homeschool while working around our kids' unique medical needs. Our life is real and our life is messy, but God brings beauty amongst all the chaos. So today I thought I'd show you our 2017-2018 curriculum and kind of how we have things set up for the year. We've kind of taken over the kitchen, so that's where we do the majority of our schoolwork. But it's working for us now, and we kind of like it having our kitchen is separated from the living room by a half wall, so it works for us. So anyway, here we go. I'll show it to you. Okay, so this is how we have our table set up. It's nothing fancy, but it works for us. So we have my computer in case we need to pull anything up, and we have a little whiteboard that we can pull out, and our math blocks that both the kids use. Also have some paper towels and our bin of pencils and pens and scissors, glue, all that stuff. And then Quentin's inhaler that you never know when we're going to need it, so we try and keep one close at hand. And then there's all of our curriculum that we use on a day-to-day basis. We keep it right there on the table. We have Elizabeth's bin and Quentin's bin and my bin, and then Quentin's binder and Elizabeth's binder, and then there's the my plan books and our answer keys. Okay, so I thought I would start with my things. First off, I'll start with our I guess it'd be better to call these record books rather than planners, because I don't write anything down until after it's done. And Elizabeth is not of compulsory age, so hers I don't have to keep hours, but I do want to, be in the practice of keeping what she has done. And what I do is I write down, like you can see, there's quite a bit missing. We had a very busy week, just not a very busy school week. But if I had to get things, if there's a reason why things did not get done, then I write that down on each day, so that way when I go back and look, I know why the full school day wasn't done. Now with Quentin, since I do have to keep hours for him, we use this one, and next year when I have to keep hours for Elizabeth, I'll use this one for her too. We love this book. It has a spot for all the subjects at the top, plus little boxes to keep your hours and every day of the week. And then down at the end of the page, it has where you can keep your weekly totals and your yearly totals. And I just finished up last week's was our month end, so I got all that tallied up, and we're at 378 hours, and we started on July 1st, so I think we're doing pretty good. And at the back of it, it has the monthly hours, so you can kind of just do it at a quick glance. So there's that. And then in my bin, I just pulled everything out. I keep plenty of stickers because I am a sticker person. So we have stickers, which I'll be replacing those with Halloween ones probably tomorrow. And then I keep extra goal cards for when it's time for new ones. And then my daily chore list, things that I'd like to get done. And then some random notebook paper. And then every morning we start with our book that we're reading and a devotional. And right now we're going through some of the Magic Treehouse books. We've done several of those in a row. But we'll probably switch off here pretty soon and do something else. But we're going through the Action Bible devotional. Kids seem to like it. It gives some good thinking points. It's kind of nice. So we do that every morning. And then we end the day with our Heroes of History or Christian Heroes of History's book. But it's the Hero series. And we usually go back and forth between Heroes of History or a like a missionary one, but they're by the same author. And these books are amazing. We absolutely love these books. Our whole family does. That's why we do them at the end of the day, because Kirk's usually here then, and he likes listening to them too. So we all like this one. And then there's my YouTube book. And then I have my instruction manuals for spelling and for math. And so that's what's in mine. Okay, so I'll start with Quentin. And in we have his binder. And at the front of his binder, we have his reading chart. We just track if he reads 15 minutes a day on his own, and his goal card, which I do not write more than one day's worth of goals, because I just don't like the stress of having to erase things if things don't turn out the way, and it just stresses me out. So we just write one day ahead, and if it doesn't work, then we just move it down to the next day, and it's all fine. Then he has his pencil pouch. He has got a few pencils and a couple pens in there. Not much, but we really use those pencils more. This is just more that if we're going somewhere, he can just grab the binder and he's got some pencils. But he does have his color pencils in there for his spelling. Then we have a cursive alphabet page. And then for English, he's doing ACE again this year. And these page tabs, I have it all divided by subject. But these page tabs, I actually meant to just get the plain ones. And I picked these up by accident, but I'm so glad I did, because these have a pocket. And so when I pull the new pace out, I can just pull the test out and stick it in here, and it stays in the front until it's time to take the test, which works out perfectly. So here's his English test. We keep them in these little, magazine holder things. And I got this whole binder idea from Andrea Mills, from her channel, and it has really worked out well for us this year. I am so glad that I tried this out. And then if I haven't gotten a pace graded, and well, it is graded, but if it hasn't been filed and recorded on their record sheet, then I just keep it in here so that it doesn't get lost. And when I have time, I sit down and pull out all the extras. And then he has a notebook for practicing handwriting, and phone number, address, birth date, all those things, all those little things that you need to learn how to do. So he does that in here. And then yellow is for math. But math this year, we're doing Matthew C. And he's in the alpha. He, by grade, should probably be a lot higher than this. But about mid-year last year, he was hating math and struggling so much. He was crying. I was crying. It was not pretty. So we decided we were going to step way back and just take him to a point where he was comfortable, so that he could build some confidence. And our thought was, if he goes through this in 3 to 6 months, that is great, and then we'll just move on to the next one. But we needed to start him at a place where he was extremely comfortable, just to build some confidence. And it's working really well. He's doing really, really well in math now, and he enjoys it a lot. He really likes this setup. But what I do is I just pull the whole section out, and I stick it in this this pocket for the whole. I pull out the whole lesson plus the test. I just pull those both out, and stick them in here. And when then he just has them ready for that lesson. Then he has his number, or his addition fact sheet, his 100 chart, and then I keep a folder in here just for when things are done. We just stick them in here, and we do the work on this side and the tests on this side, which I've obviously filed since we've had a test. So And then social studies, he's doing ACE. Same thing, test in the front. And then here's the pace that he's working on. And then any activities, I stick back here till we get all the ingredients, equipment, whatever we need to do it. Believe it or not, I can't find a long nail. So we have an apple, we just don't have any nails. So I got to get one of those so we can do this activity. Science is also ACE. And then he's really excited about this one. He just started this, but he found out that we get to build a model rocket in this one. So he's excited about that. And so there's one I haven't filed yet. And here's another activity that I think we now have everything to do this one. So I think we can go ahead and get this one done. Literature and creative writing is also ACE. And then this is the book that he's reading through that. And there's, I think, 6 books this year that he's reading through in the literature. So, there's that. And then this folder we keep in here for his Bible quizzing. It has all of the scriptures plus the questions for him to practice with his Bible quizzing. And so Bible's kind of very fly by the seat as far as what we're going to be doing in a day. If he has, so usually Thursday, because we have Bible quizzing on Wednesday. So Thursday we'll go over the new scripture and questions. And then on Friday we'll do a review of all of the questions of all the sections passed. And then Sunday he'll usually do his Sunday school homework, and then Monday, Tuesday he'll fill that in with practical proverbs. But it just kind of is how it goes. And then Wednesday he'll do, if I have it, we'll do the pre-reading of the lesson that's going to be that night, just so that he gets a little taste of it before he goes. And I stuck, these are actually our concert tickets. I stuck this in here so it wouldn't get lost. But, and then here's an empty folder. And I have this pocket back here. I just keep all his old goal cards and reading charts in here. And then the very back, he keeps his star chart, or his stars. And he has a star chart that basically is a year in a glance. These are all the English pieces he's going to do. These are his math lessons, his literature and creative writing pieces, his spelling lessons, his social studies paces, his science paces, practical proverbs lessons, which, like I said, that is kind of a fill-in. Practical proverbs may take us 2 or 3 years to get through, just because it's really kind of when we don't have other things. And then our heroes books that I'd like to get through for the year. So what I didn't mention is for spelling, he's doing Spelling UC, and this was another thing that was a nightmare for him last year. It was so hard, and he struggled so much. And he's doing so much better this year with this new curriculum, and we really like it. And then this is his Sunday school folder that they do Answers in Genesis curriculum in their Sunday school. And so he'll bring home his homework and we'll do that for one day during the week for Bible. And then we'll theoretically send it back, but obviously I haven't remembered to take the folder for a while. So thank goodness my sister is his Sunday school teacher, and she understands, and we'll turn it in when it gets there. And then this is the Practical Proverbs book that I was talking about that we do kind of as we have time. But he actually really enjoys this, so I hope that we can have more time to get this in for him. So that's kind of Quentin's, and I'll move on to Elizabeth. I did forget to mention that since Quentin is in 4th grade now, we did go ahead and get the answer keys this year. Prior to this year, I just did the answer keys myself, but this is kind of like my binder if I need it. It has our booklet information, some other papers that I need, obviously the good teacher red pens, and then we have our score keys, same color coding, but we have our English, literature and creative writing, now not the math, because the math is actually in the teacher's handbook, or the instructor's handbook for the Matthew C. Social studies, science, and here's our practical proverbs answer key. So those are just keep here on the table and grab them when we need them. Quentin kind of likes it. It kind of helps. I think it's helped him when he gets one wrong. He remembers correcting it, and I think it works really well. So now I'll move on to Elizabeth. Okay, so with Elizabeth, the first part of the year we're doing Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. She's actually almost done with this. She's on lesson 81. So thankfully we're almost done with this. It's good, but it's not interesting. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but it's brutal for us to get through. But now that she's basically has most of the basics, it's going much better, and she's able to read other things, so it's working out better. But that's still her reading lesson in the mornings, and then she does some writing every day, some handwriting practice. And this is her binder. She has her goal card in the front, and she has in her pencil pouch pencils, and then she has some big crayons in hers for if she has a coloring project. And she has this handwriting guide and a manuscript set. I printed this out before we got this one, and I just stuck it in here. And then she has her 120 chart that we're kind of going through and doing a lot of the activities on. For English, she does ACE, and really so much of this is really kind of like, even though it's different subjects, it's really just to get that reading down pat. Once you become a good reader, you can kind of learn everything, and I think that's kind of the way ACE handles the first year for the most part, or at least for first grade anyway. So there's that. But she also is doing the alpha math. Now she's not as far as Quentin. It takes her a lot longer to absorb content, and so she's going a lot slower. Whereas he will probably breeze through this in about 6 months. She may take 2 years or more to get through it. So we'll see. We're just going to take it all in their timing, whatever works for them. But she has her math facts chart that she actually just got to color in. She was very excited about that. And same thing, we have a binder that have all the work pages on this side and the tests on this side. And then there's her social studies. There again, this one especially is very, I think, more about learning to read than the actual content, being social studies related. Although it does deal with family relationships and that type of thing, so there's that. Here's her science. Now this does get a little bit more into, the earth and other things. So this one is a little bit more science-based, I guess. Granted, it's first grade, it is what it is. But it is really about more learning to read and learning to answer questions and all that type of thing. Then she has reading, her books that she's reading. We use these Bob books, and she's on books 15 and 16 right now out of this set. She has to read, this is just my thing, that I want her to read it, not necessarily perfectly, but at least knows that there's a mistake and figures out how to correct that mistake without help, before she can pass a book. And it started out, she would be in a book for like weeks, but now I have to make her be in it for 3 days at least before she can pass it, just because she's flying through them that quickly. So there's those, and then we do just this little workbook from Target, mainly because I bought it, not necessarily because she needs it. Might as well use it though. Let's see, that's an empty folder. There's her Bible quizzing things, and then in the back we have her sight words that we go through every day, and her extra goal cards are in there. Now she is also doing the spelling you see. She's doing the listen and write version, and it's much more, basically you read a word, she writes a word. That's really how it works out. But I think this format's going to be better for her than the ACE format. So, and then that's all she does. So that was just our quick little tour of our curriculum and what all we have going on this year as far as schoolwork. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give us a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. Until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.